We covered parts 1 and 2, and what's going to happen here is the factoring is going to get a little more difficult, you know, as we added the minus sign here to the constant. Eventually this number up here is going to change as well. You're going to have a coefficient on front of that x squared. That's going to change things a little bit. You'll notice this is going to be part 3, lesson 8 today. So it's important to get these basics down, okay, because getting these down will help you factor and problem solve when they get harder. So the first question here, two numbers multiply to negative 40, add to negative 6. Negative 10 and 4, because it has to get to negative 6, so negative must be with the 10. Next one, that one switches, right? Multiply to negative 36, add to 9. Again, the order does not matter. How about to add to negative 5? That would add to negative 9.
Negative 9 and 4.
There you go, yes.
Technically, this is what I've been doing and it's been working every time, but couldn't we just put x plus y equals negative 5 and then x times y equals negative 36?
I mean,
This is the answer.
yeah, I mean, this is giving you a problem like this and telling you what should be going through your mind when factoring. That's what it's for. So if you see that, can you figure that out in your mind? I mean, I don't want you to rely on Desmos,
No,
no.
I could technically, it's just it's even quicker.
Type it in the Desmos. You're not gonna be allowed to do that. You have to know how to do it by hand.
I do.
Then prove it.
Okay.
Next one, create a diagram. No, I do not want you to type these all in Desmos, because there will be a quiz and test where you won't be allowed to do that. X squared minus 5x plus 8x minus 40. These two right here is how you get the 3x. Everything else is the same. X squared into minus 40. This one's going to be like your warm-up today. You got to plug in the signs. Again, just kind of separate them by a comma or something when you type them in. Or you can fill it out and screenshot it, send it back, whatever you want to do. But what signs go in there? And yes, they are important of the order. What do you got for A?
Minus and plus.
If you have no idea what you're doing, you can try and just FOIL it. Okay, this is a minus, so that means I have one of each, and the bigger one gets a negative sign. Next one, when they're both pluses, that's super simple. These both get a plus. Again, I have a minus here, so that means I'm going to have one of each, and the bigger one gets a positive. Negative in the middle, and this is a plus. That means they're both plus or both minus. This means they're both minus. So you'll notice we had all 4 possibilities there. And you can see how that changes your answer. Does not affect the first or the last. It only affects this guy. And then just the sign.
When you
Yes.
say the bigger one gets the plus, is
Yeah.
that like the 18 and 3?
Correct. 4, matching. Where you got A going? A to 3, B to 1, C to, and D to 2. Question number 5, rewriting them in factored form. Again, this is just like the first question. I'm thinking about things that multiply to give me negative 28, but add to give me negative 3. Gonna have one of each. Bigger one goes with the negative, and they differ by 3. So it should be 7 and 4. Next one's the exact same thing, except it is a positive 3. So that means the bigger one gets a positive there. Factors of 28, again, it's a minus 28, so I know I got one of each. Differ by 12, and the bigger one gets the positive. 14 and 2. Next one. Again, I'm going to have one of each. Factors of 60 that differ by 28. Bigger one gets a minus. 30 and 2. Very good. Question number 6. One of those has one solution. Which one is it? B. Remember, that's going to be x plus 5 twice. Only thing that will give you as an answer is negative 5. 1, 0. Question 7, find h of 0. So the height when we start.
5 feet.
5 feet. Does ht equals 0 have a solution?
No.
No. Height is never 0, thankfully. Otherwise, this Ferris wheel will be hitting the ground each time. If you ever see that, don't hop on. C, describe the domain. So what x's work here?
5 and 5.
That's the range.
Oh my God. Okay, then 0 and 0.
Range is between 5 to 55 feet. Domain is the x's this way. Looks like between 0 and 60. What's the one for time? Doesn't say. We'll just use t. 0 to 60. Looks like a 1 minute ride. You could have also argued that it has to be everything bigger than 0. Just goes on forever. Keep riding that Ferris wheel.
No.
Can't have negative
It'd be
time.
a 1 minute ride because.
Oh, 60 minutes, sorry. I thought it was seconds. Hour. So they graphed an hour of it. Question 8. Do you agree with Lynn or Elena? Who's right?
Lynn,
Why?
because there are 2 answers. No, Lynn.
Yeah, remember I said never divide by x. Never divide by x. That's what Elena does. You lose a solution. There are 2 solutions to this. 2 zeros. Lynn is correct. Okay, question number 9. Review from Unit 5. 3 days before, how am I going to get my answer?
Plug in -3.
Plug in -3 for D. Anybody get that? 6.4 million bacteria. When was the last day the population was more than 1 million? Okay, so day 0 you'd get 100,000, so it's, it was before we started the experiment. So you could try 2 days before. You could also try 1 day before. I didn't run those numbers, did you guys? Is 2 below?
2 is 1,600,000, but 1 day is 400,000. So I said 2.
So 2 days before? Because 1 day before you said was 400,000. All right. That is correct. And again, that's just trial and error. Try numbers.